When you take a look at 5G, when do you expect 5G to actually make a meaningful impact on your numbers?
It'll start to happen in the next couple of years. It's already starting to happen where we've been rolling out 5G in the US and South Korea. Japan is next. Many Nordic countries, a little bit in China has begun, and then Middle East and so on. So I think market maturity at the scale of many countries rolling out at the same time, including Europe, will likely be in 21, although 2020 is also a big year.
So fair to assume that 5G will play a critical role in your profit going forward?
It should.
What challenges do you see in growing the 5G space?
Well, there are plenty of opportunities because, one, we think that 5G is about a number of things. It's about low latency. It's about, 1,000 times more capacity, super fast speeds. But it's not only for consumers, it's also for industries. So a number of verticals will benefit from rolling out 5G, and not just 5G. Actually, you can do a number of things with 4G. So we've talked about having 63 5G contracts. We've rolled out and launched 18 networks. But we also have 130 private wireless networks directly that industries are using, whether they be manufacturing, logistics, utilities, transportation, and so forth.
When you take a look at what's happening now, there's a lot more security on the Chinese vendors. How is that impacting the industry?
Well, I think this is for policymakers to decide, and we leave it to policymakers to decide as to which vendors will be used where. On our part, we just want to make sure we have the most competitive technology, and we have an end-to-end portfolio, like you said, because 5G isn't just about radio. 5G is about a virtuous circle of multiple elements of the network. Backhaul, transport, software, applications, fixed wireless access, fixed lines, and 5G radio as well, and of course the core network. So we want to be able to benefit from that end-to-end strategy and end-to-end portfolio that we have.
There's a sense out there, though, that the scrutiny could delay the 5G rollout. Do you agree with that view?
5G is moving forward. It's actually been brought forward as an industry by almost 2 years, and it continues to scale nicely. 63 contracts, 18 networks launched, prove the fact that it's really happening.
But at a different pace, though, right? When you take a look at the US, Asia, and Europe lagging behind.
But why? Because of spectrum not being available in every market in Europe. So if spectrum was to be available at reasonable cost, at a longer life cycle, then Europe would move fast as well in comparison to Asia and US. But US is moving forward. South Korea is moving forward. In fact, I would say our experience in early networks is that adoption of 5G is 4 times faster than the adoption we saw in 4G.
You've set some targets for your operating margins. Are you confident of achieving them? What could be the challenges to achieving those targets?
Well, we're here to talk about 5G, so I can't talk much about Q4. We'll report in a couple of weeks. Longer term, though, we have talked about 12% plus 12 to 14% operating margins, and that's what we're working towards.
What do you view as the biggest risk of the company right now?
Number of challenges, but number of opportunities as well.
In terms of risk?
In terms of risk, we've the pace of investment and adoption of 5G, the opportunities in terms of how fast that will move. It could move faster. Opportunities in enterprise, opportunities in software. Because remember, our strategy is about we're an end-to-end company. We want to take advantage of this virtuous circle I talked about. At the same time, we are diversifying into enterprise and building a standalone software business. So for me, the opportunities lie in diversifying. The opportunities are if 5G would move faster. The risk is if 5G moves a bit slower, of which you're not sure yet, but that could also happen.